Ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a treat tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Noah Longyear, owner, creator, producer of the Player Advancement League, voice of the Great Lake Traditional Sprint. You may recognize me on Tuesday nights, but it's Monday night, baby. This is the PAL-sanctioned Frontier Truck Tour, bringing you iRacing, alcohol, and the beautiful mixture of both. This league forwarded by none other than Matthew Legatt and his longtime friend Thomas Melnick, and everybody at Flipper Win Motorsport, G-Force, and so on, bring you the Frontier Truck Tour. It's the inaugural race of this series. 24 drivers are registered. Week 1 at Chicagoland. I believe we got 12 weeks straight of Monday night racing. And here we go. Dylan Herviton and the number 67 picks up the pole. We're going to go and get him up into the booth. 85 laps. 75% fuel capacity, 3 extra sets of tires. When I get this music turned down, we'll go ahead and grab the driver, the number 67, your pole sitter for the very first race of the Frontier Truck Tour, Mr. Dylan Herviton. Dylan Herviton, this is Noah up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Dylan, you set the pole for the inaugural race in the Frontier Truck Tour. First of all, give us a little bit of insight about you, how you got into this league, how you know Matt and Thomas, and are you excited for a Chicagoland race?
You know what? Not going to lie, really don't remember. I think I joined one of their hosted races, but I know a lot of the people in the league. So that helped out. Actually, you know what? I do remember. Davion Haskins in the 92 sent me an invite, and I kind of knew some of the previous people, so it was really easy to get adjusted to the guys pretty quick. But overall, yeah, the truck's really good. Able to put it P1 on the board, so that's a good start. Hopefully we can keep it here. Chicagoland's a great racetrack, always has been. It's going to be fun. Probably get a little tight. Watch us slowly migrate up to the wall on the long runs, but otherwise, yeah, it's going to be a good race, and looking forward to see what we can do, and appreciate everybody watching.
We got a banger schedule here for this season. What are you looking forward to the most? Maybe not just the track, but racing in general, and as we continue to develop the Frontier Truck Tour.
Yeah, I mean, Chicagoland's definitely going to be a fun race here. I saw that on the schedule, so I thought that was going to be fun, but overall, all the tracks I saw look like they're going to be a pretty fun time. Just like to grab a win, before the season's over would be nice. But overall, yeah, it's going to be fun. Like I said, I know a lot of these guys and been talking to some of them throughout practice and before, and it seemed like a fun group, so it should be a fun little season to have here.
All righty, thank you, Dylan. We're going to send you back down. Have a good night.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
We'll send Dylan Herviton back down, and as the pace truck rounds the exit of turn 2, lights are off on the pace truck, lights are off around Chicagoland. We will take the green flag next time we see them by the stripe. Dylan Herviton, Nicholas Tucker, Jacob Alicia, the PAL Racing Season 2 champion, David Wright, Pete Tart, Eric Gonzalez, Chris Warren, Douglas Henry, Daniel Nance, Robert Keach Jr. make up your top 10. And as we roll the turns 3 and 4, the most famous words in iRacing, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your go time music. "24 drivers, brand new league to kick it off. What a turnout! PAL-sanctioned event, trucks here to do battle." Pace truck pulls off into the restart zone. Green. Ladies and gentlemen, the Frontier Truck Tour is underway. And as the trucks round into turn 4 to complete their first lap, it will be Dylan Herviton, Jacob Alicia right there in tow with Pop-Tart, Pete, Chris Warren, and David Wright make up your top 5. 2 laps into this deal. Jacob Alicia now getting a push from Pop-Tart Pete, looking up the inside, looking for that second position. Jacob Alicia moves into second. Truck steps up a little bit. He's going to drive up the track, take that line away from the 49 of Nicholas Tucker. And he has Pete Tart right there on the tailgate, giving him a good push down the straightaway. I thought Pete Tart went to look to the inside, thinks better of it. And Dylan Herviton continues to lead, almost 3 wide for the third position, the 42 of David Wright. Up the inside of Pete Tart has Spencer Burton and Daniel Nance in tow. Jacob Alicia fell back to third. Contact between David Wright and Pop-Tart Pete. They hang on to it. And now Dylan Herviton under attack from Nicholas Tucker once again. This time Tucker, clean air, no push for Herviton from any drivers behind. Nicholas Tucker's best shot at going for the lead. He will clear, and finally, after 14 laps, Nicholas Tucker will take the lead. Herviton crossover, doesn't have him at the line. Nicholas leads that lap. And they're side by side into turns 1 and 2. Top line is Tucker's, bottom is Herviton's. And look at that run off the top, and he will clear him down the backstretch. Great corner out of Nicholas Tucker. Close battle up front once again. All top 3 drivers within a tenth of each other. Nicholas Tucker, here comes Herviton, crossover. I thought he was going to make contact there. So close to the rear bumper. Gets to the left rear of Nicholas Tucker. Trying to make a pass for the position. Up the inside, crossing back over. Give it back to Tucker again. Herviton trying to run him down. Alicia hasn't quite backed off, but I think he's saving tire a little bit better. I think Pete Tart saved a little bit better here. Oh, something happened to Nicholas Tucker. I think he smacked the wall. Oh, and Alicia gets turned with Pete Tart. The leaders crash. 3 trucks into the wall. This throws the caution. Jacob Alicia, Pop-Tart Pete contact, collects Nicholas Tucker. Oh, and the 44, Chris Warren, the owner of those trucks, of the Jacob Alicia truck, pile drives him. ARCA braking at its finest out of the veteran. That all started when Nicholas Tucker hit the wall and corner exit. Pete Tart, Jacob Alicia caught him with a lot of speed. And they all got collected damage on the 31 truck. Pete Tart involved, also nose damage. Let's take a look at the replay. So here we go. This is a bad angle. Just like Pete Tart almost just hooks Jacob Alicia. Let's grab that again. Chopper cam. So you're going to see Nicholas plows. Here comes Pete Tart trying. I mean, Pete Tart just turns left. Really leans on Alicia. Pete Tart unaware, I guess, how low he is. He's going to dump the 31. And then now we got to watch. Where does Chris Warren come from? The caution's already out. And I mean, Chris is just going way too quick. Extra damage. He did not need that. Dylan Herviton in command in the Geico restart zone. Green. Oh, somebody missed a shift. And Douglas Henry jumps out of line on teammate Raymond Wimmer. Caught Raymond sleeping. Doug had to jump out of the way to not make contact. I doubt that'll be under review. That seemed legit to me. Call in the booth. Here we go. Dylan Herviton now has to hold off Spencer Burton. To the rear bumper of the 07. Burton looks to the high line. Has Aiden Gould right there in tow. Here comes Aiden. Looks to the inside. 3 wide for the lead. Not quite, but Gould all the way down to the bottom. Spencer on the top line. Falls back in line between Dylan Herviton. Behind, rather. Almost contact with Stephen James. And Spencer had to back up the corner. And now Aiden Gould goes to the lead here at Chicagoland. And they're side by side right now for the 4th spot. Looking for the 3rd spot. I believe that's Stephen James in that blue and white truck down there on the bottom. Spencer Burton on that top line. Stephen James of the 69 to the inside of Dylan Herviton. Look at these battles. And they're almost 3 wide as they enter the corner. Aiden Gould tries to pull away. The 42 goes sideways. David Wright, Luke Chadwick involved. 84 of Jake Hare gets ARCA braked. 42 of David Wright in the middle. Oh, Pop-Tart Pete in the 7 clips another truck, turns him up into Doug across the field. Raymond Wimmer nowhere to go. Jacob Blakely contact. Daniel Nance, Aaron Warren make it through. Jake Hare, I believe, got ARCA braked by Robert Keach Jr. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. Away we go. Seems to be trouble-free. Aiden Gould, a really good launch. Stephen James and Dylan Herviton get single file. Spencer Burton on that top line. Might have some room low. Nope, Pete Tart will fill it. Oh, battle for the lead. Dylan Herviton almost made contact with Aiden Gould. And Dylan Herviton looks to the bottom. Aiden said, you got to protect it. Well, Dylan's there. Can Aiden perform the crossover through the inside? Even at the line. Dylan a little bit better run there through the corner, but Aiden will have the bottom. Aiden Gould up the inside. Can he clear? Yes, he will. It's tight. And Herviton into the wall. Almost dumps Aiden Gould. Blocking all the way down the backstretch. Herviton back to the top. Aggressive driving in the trucks here. As now to the outside of Aiden. Trading positions. And here comes Stephen James on that top line. These guys are dogging right now. It's a dog fight. Spencer Burton is right there. 4 cars underneath the blanket. Gould still trying to get the power down. Herviton to the outside. Stephen James, Spencer Burton in tow. James looking back to the top line. Gets a really good run through the straightaway. Herviton goes up the block. Comes back down to the door of Gould. Still side by side. Dylan Herviton will clear his way into the lead. Can Aiden get a really good run here in the corner? No slider. Dylan Herviton, class of the field right now. He's kept it clean for the most part. Gould follows him down the straightaway, and Stephen James, Spencer Burton make contact. Stephen James can hang on to it, throws the yellow from the booth. Leggett gets damaged. Aaron Warren, Raymond Wimmer net codes into him. And we get another caution. Oh, yeah, just coming down across Spencer Burton. Spencer even turning left to try to get out of his way. Just nowhere for him to go. The 69 unaware he's there. And as he jumps back up at the track, he almost has this truck saved. Look at Matthew Leggett going high, and then the 69 truck comes off. Net code that right front. Look at Aaron Warren. Heavy damage on the front of that truck, and I think Raymond Wimmer net codes through the 69. 69 in his cockpit. And that's going to finish off Stephen James. In the restart zone, Dylan Herviton gets a really good launch. Spencer Burton right there on his tailgate. Aiden Gould can actually drop back into the bottom. Wonder if everybody will take a deep breath now. Maybe not. 3 wide between Douglas Henry, Jacob Blakely, and Daniel Nance. All these guys got to race each other on Tuesday. Keep it clean, boys. Blakely to the inside of Nance. Nance looks at the top line of Doug. Already dicing it up at the front. Aiden Gould, Spencer Burton, teammates, by the way. Dicing it up. I think you race your friends and your teammates a little bit harder here. In any league race, host and official for that matter. They know they could take it. And Spencer Burton will go to the lead. Dylan Herviton gives him a push off into the corner, but I think that might help him here. On that top line, Herviton, looks to the inside. Can he clear? Not quite. Spencer's still there. Has help out of Jordan Marion. Gould jumps to that top line. Dylan Herviton back to the bottom. I think Spencer could get a really good run here if he gets that rotation. No, it's Jordan Marion. Almost to the inside of Spencer. Falls back in line. Aiden still 4th, and here comes Jacob Alicia inside of Eric Gonzalez. Pete Tart in tow. Gould will try the bottom on his teammate. 3 wide in the center of the corner. How do they exit? It's tight. And they're still 3 wide. Gould falls back in line. Tries to get up into that top line, but the hole gets closed. Stuck on the bottom. Side by side for second with Burton. Try to use him to build a run on Herbertson. And Alicia Gonzalez spin. Alicia, can he save it? Yes, he does. It's close. But they hang on to it, and we stay green. What a save. Aiden Gould jumps into pit road. Last time he pit was right around lap 30. So potentially the first of a handful of trucks to head down pit road. Pete Tart actually pit with him. Strategy call from that team. Do their best to outcycle. We have entered the green flag pit stop stage with all these cautions. I didn't think we'd get here, but here we are. Jacob Alicia down pit road. I think Spencer Burton, he just hit pit road. So is Jordan Marion. David Wright, Raymond Wimmer, Daniel Nans, Dylan Herbertson all on pit road. Robert Keach Jr. yet to pit. Luke Chadwick, Chris Warren, Jacob Blakely, and Douglas Henry have all yet to pit. Out of pit road, here's Dylan Herbertson. And there goes Aiden Gould into the corner. I think Aiden's going to get him right here in corner exit now. The only difference is how old those tires are compared to Dylan Herbertson. Dylan Herbertson should be on 4 lap fresher tires. That makes a difference here in iRacing, especially with guys driving at this level. Pete Tart comes out and cycles out right behind Herbertson. So right now, Aiden Gould, at the moment, has cycled out to be your leader. He's your relative leader. And again, Robert Keach Jr. as he brushes the wall in corner exit. Luke Chadwick, Jacob Blakely, Chris Warren, and Douglas Henry have all yet to pit. I got to imagine they're playing the really long game, trying to stretch their field as long as they can, hoping for a caution. And now the race kind of transitions from close quarter pack racing. Oh, we got a wreck. Aaron Warren, Jacob Blakely, and Pete Tart all involved. And this time, guys, we get a replay. What happened? Jacob Blakely to the bottom. He still has to pit yet. He's checking up. And Pete Tart just runs him over. Look at Luke Chadwick, nowhere to go. Aaron Warren locks up the brake, spins that truck around. He has no damage. Did Pete Tart know? Did Pete Tart know Jacob Blakely was pitting? I mean, I would think Jacob Blakely would be one to call it out, but you got to assume he's calling 36 pitting now, 36 pitting now. I think he's already slowed up. Pete Tart just overzealous, not paying attention. The young kid, 16 years old out of California. I think he's showing his age here a little bit, guys. That's 3 mistakes. And although maybe Blakely didn't call out he was pitting, I might have been a little bit foolish here to dive to the inside of a slower truck who obviously still has to pit. So the rest of these guys, look at them. That is awesome. Douglas Henry, Chris Warren, Luke Chadwick, Robert Keach Jr. got what they were looking for, which was a caution. So they're going to come down pit road. They're going to take fresh tires, get their fuel topped off, which will be good enough to the end. Good enough to the end for everybody, by the way, even if they pit under green. While everybody else in the field, from Aiden Gould on down, gets the wave around, but they won't be able to pass those 4 cars for position. See how they fare. Got some blockers, got some guys to fill the gaps. Douglas Henry in the restart zone gets command, and now we sit with anticipation and wait. Doug, really good launch, but these guys with that draft are going to reel these boys in. Here we go. 3 wide back there in the pack. Aiden Gould, David Wright, Nicholas Tucker, couple laps down. Right now, Robert Keach Jr. has some speed. He tries the bottom. Doug continues to try to hang on. Behind Doug is Chris Warren. Luke Chadwick, even with that damage, still being able to stay in draft and has some speed. And then it's Dylan Herviton, followed by Spencer Burton. The next car is on the lead lap. Jake Kerr lap down up top. Jordan Marion not far behind, trying to reel in that lead group. They got the speed. I think they will. Keach Jr. can't find that run. Chris Warren still has Dylan Herviton out back. Meanwhile, Spencer Burton, Luke Chadwick, and Aiden Gould 3 wide. Spencer and Aiden will make a sandwich out of Chadwick. Oh, and Burton up into the wall. Maybe a little bit of right side damage. He hangs on. And right now, Douglas Henry continues to hang on to this lead. Robert Keach just can't get there. Chris Warren holding off Dylan Herviton. They've fallen back a second. Herviton running out of time. Douglas Henry trying to race back to the white flag. Herviton. Oh, and Aiden Gould making contact, bumping down the backstretch, battling hard. Chris Warren still putting up one heck of a fight. Herviton sideways, smacks the wall, big damage, but Douglas Henry takes the white flag. Herviton is out of it. That damaged race truck, the caution will not fly. There cannot be a restart, and his hopes of finishing well are over as the truck continues to plow. And Douglas Henry down the backstretch knows he's all clear with his father watching in the chat. Douglas Henry through 3 and 4 for the inaugural race of the Frontier Truck Tour. Douglas Henry is going to win it big right here at Chicagoland.
Take over that trap.
Let's go. First
Shit,
race of the
take
season. We
over
got the
this
dub.
shit. Yes, sir. Good win, Doug. Good win, dude.
Thank you, thank you.
Especially with all that damage at the beginning to come back. Hell yeah.
And you can hear the emotion between him and teammate Luke Chadwick. That's not just a win for Doug. That's not just a win for his direct teammate, the Mad Dog Motorsports group of him and Luke Chadwick, who Luke with damage came home 7th. It's a win for WBR, the Warren Brothers Racing. There's about 7 or 8 of them in here coming over from PAL Racing Tuesday with a handful of the Flipper Win guys, and Douglas Henry will burn it down right here at Chicagoland. And that's the way he wanted to start the Frontier Truck Tour. I really wish one of these days we could get a Douglas's dad cam so we could see his reaction. And I don't think Douglas Henry is forgetting about the task he has tomorrow. Let's talk to him about it. Out there sliding that truck around, teach us how to Dougie. Douglas, you get the win, the inaugural race of Frontier Truck Tour, iRacing, alcohol, and the greatest mix of both. Tell us about the emotion right now as your dad cheers you on in the Twitch chat.
Hey, this one's for you, Dad. Thanks for watching every race. No, I'm just happy we could take this to victory lane after the start of the race. Got some major nose damage, had no front downforce there, and just played the right strategy. Got fuel when I needed to, and got the leapfrog everybody due to that caution.
Well, Doug, let's not forget the task at hand. This is a great momentum boost going into tomorrow, Power Racing Tuesday, the first of our 3 crown jewels. You know it best, the Baby Car 225. You've had an epic finish there before. Does this make you better? Does this help redefine your racecraft? You raced against a lot of guys you'll see tomorrow. What is the mindset moving forward into the rest of the week?
We're just gonna keep this train rolling. There's a lot of stiff competition tomorrow. I know Eric Gonzalez, Alicia, Aiden Gould's all gonna be tough to beat, but I've won there before. I can definitely do it again.
Alrighty, Douglas, so let's talk about the Frontier Truck Tour. This is your first race here. What are your immediate reactions? Are you excited for the rest of the season? Are we going to see you full-time? Surely after this win, you make a run for that championship.
Yeah, I'm going to be here full-time. I'm going to do my best for the championship. Maybe read the rules a little clearer. I didn't know you couldn't switch lanes on restarts there, but got her done. I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Alrighty, congratulations, Doug. We're going to send you down. I'll talk to you later tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
So Douglas Henry down. We'll grab the man who played the strategy alongside the 66. It's Robert Keach Jr. Robert, know in the booth you got a copy.
Yep, I got you.
Well, Robert, you were one of those 4 trucks that played the strategy. It worked out for you. We saw you were just missing a little bit to get up there and battle Doug for the lead. But talk about your race, what you think about Frontier Truck Tour, and moving forward, what are your goals?
That was was a blast. I hit just about everything I could in the first half of the race, and I mean, I kind of just sent it on strategy. Waited. I was gonna pit when my tank went dry. I mean, I had nothing left to lose. Um, just a little bit there on the restart. I couldn't. I think I had permanent damage on my front end, so I couldn't really, you know, pull up to him for some reason. But uh, I mean, I'm happy with the result, and hopefully we can keep it up and maybe run for a championship.
Congratulations, Robert. I'm going to send you back down. Nice meeting you. I'll see you as we continue this season of Frontier Truck Tour.
Appreciate it.
We'll send Robert down. We'll grab the man who finished P3. He's been caught up in a lot of stuff tonight. Co-owner of Warren Brothers Racing alongside his brother Aaron Warren. Chris Warren brings it home third. Also on that strategy. Chris, this is no in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Chris, this is the first time you've been in PAL Racing for now 4 seasons. And this is the first time I've interviewed you for a podium finish. That's got to feel good in the PAL Sanctioned Frontier Truck Tour. You're racing guys in here. You race on Tuesday nights. A lot of fast dudes. Talk about how the night went for you. Talk about that strategy play with WBR. And what do you expect as a, not just iRacing, but a sim racing veteran? What do you expect to see out of the Frontier Truck Tour as we continue to develop?
I think it's going to produce a lot of good racing. There's, like you said, there's a lot of strong competition in here. And in terms of the strategy, it's one that I had to pull, essentially taking a late tire stop and running those as much as I possibly could, kept topping off on fuel, burned it until the caution came out, and then that's when I got my final set of tires. I also had damage from an incident that happened early on in the race, so I did not have full power. So
Chris,
I'm
with that
extremely happy
strategy.
with the third.
You bring it home, top 3. This is a great WBR day. I'm going to send you back down. I'll see you tomorrow because we got a big announcement coming up for the PAL side of things.
Absolutely.
We'll send Chris back down, and there's another driver I want to grab. He came so close. Got that car in the wall at the end. Let's talk to him. Dylan Herviton, no in the booth. You got a copy.
I got you guys. What's going on?
Well, you were just so close. You were by far the fastest truck. Somebody would take the lead from you, and you drive right around them. You dodged some big wrecks. You were near miss, and then right there at the end where those guys played the strategy, you had to drive your way through lap trucks because y'all were EO-welled, and you just brushed the wall, and that kind of ended your night. But talk about the run you had, or we're going to see this out of you moving forward. You were our pole sitter. You were the fastest truck. You led the most laps. We go to see Dylan Herviton up front for the rest of the season?
I sure hope so, man. The race was really good. You know, I know that somebody that probably wrecks out and finishes 11th or 13th or wherever I finished after 13th after leading majority of the race would be more bummed out, but I had a really good time. I'm actually more bummed out that the cars wrecked off of pit road or during that pit road cycle that screwed up the entire strategy because I wanted to see it play out. I thought it was going to be a good race to the finish there with everybody's different pit strategy. So that kind of stings a little bit. But otherwise, I'm not really butthurt over it all. I threw the block on the 8 going down the batch. There's a couple blocks on me earlier in the race, but no fault. I'm not going to point fingers and say he did anything wrong. Faster and tried to get to my outside and turned me in the process. And I try to overcorrect to save it, and I did, and hit it in the wall. So it is what it is. You know, there's no reason to walk out of here all upset about it. You know, obviously we have speed. We had the fastest truck, led the lowest laps. A lot of good takeaways. Nailed some pit stops, especially the one in the green there. You know, so we stayed consistent, and I'm really happy with the pace that we brought. So I don't see why we won't be able to carry that over into the future races to come.
It's a great run, Dylan. I can't wait to see you throughout the season. I love meeting you. You're an awesome dude to talk to. Look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good night, bud.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.